Hey, how's it going, everybody? I wanted to make a video sharing some of my thoughts on the new Said the Sky album, Closer to the Sun. Now, this dropped, um, I don't think it's been a week yet, but it's definitely been a few days. And I apologize if I left down. I have some notes on my phone that I don't want to forget. But I was definitely pretty excited for this album. I heard a couple of songs prior, the ones that he released on YouTube, and I was really digging them. So I had pretty high expectations, and especially after Dabin and his album dropped a few months previous, I've noticed that a lot of the EDM producers. I know Seven Lions has dropped some stuff recently. Illenium has dropped a track recently, so it's a good time to be listening to dance music for sure. Um, so let's get into it. The first song, the introduction to the album, is called Welcome Home, and I wrote down a few things. I listed down a few things when I was listening to this one. Um, I wasn't entirely sure the meaning behind the song, but based on the title, you can kind of infer a little bit of information. Maybe you don't want to read too much into it, but at least for me, that's something that I kind of pay attention to. But you could definitely feel, and again, keep in mind this is the start of the album. You could definitely feel, I want to use energy in quotation marks. You could feel the song's energy in a way. The song sounds like a couple of songs that I have heard before, and I noticed this in the rest of the album too. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Um, I think people like nostalgia and familiarity, so I definitely don't think that's a bad thing. I thought this song was a great way to kind of lead into the rest of the album as a first track, kind of builds. So I was also surprised by the lyrics starting halfway through the song. I don't think I've heard a song do that before, or at least in a very long time. So that was kind of interesting. But personally, I don't think it's a song that I would actually add to my playlist. So it wasn't necessarily a miss. I understand the purpose of the song, but it's not one that I'm going to be going back to very often. Dance in the Rain, this was the fourth single that Said the Sky dropped on his YouTube. So I had heard this one before, and I already really like the song. Knox, I don't know if that's how you say the vocalist. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but great vocals. And it's an upbeat poppy EDM track, which is something that I've noticed that I've started liking very recently. So nothing bad to say about that one. It's a great song. I love it. Are you with me, man? What can I say about this song? This was the second single that Said the Sky dropped on his YouTube, and before listening to the rest of this album, this was my favorite new song. Its lyrics are awesome. The vocalist, I think it's Justin Jesso. I might be thinking of somebody else, so I apologize if I'm wrong, but amazing. And at this point, and I'll probably mention this a couple of other times in this video, but I could definitely tell I wrote down Trevor. That's said this guy's first name, but he was definitely going for the feels in this album, just based on the song titles, the lyrics, the vibes, the energy. Just you can tell that he's trying to evoke some sort of emotions and and feels in his listener. So that from my perspective, that's something that I pay attention to, and that I think is a huge positive. Heavenlies, the next song's the first single that Said the Sky dropped on his YouTube, and at this point, I'm really, really digging the top half of this album. I think all of the songs except for the intro are instant favorites. I heard this song before and I like it a lot. And they have the choir vocals in this song, which is really, really, really nice. So yeah, nothing bad to say about this one. It's great. So, moving on to Stolen. This was a new song for me, and I waited a few days to do this review because it's become one of my new favorites. It's on repeat. It's fantastic. Again, it's a catchy, upbeat, fun song, and it's been added to my playlist. I really like this song. Followed by Gotta Get to You, another new song, and this one is probably my new favorite song at the moment. This one has been on repeat as well. I think it's the one of the coolest tracks on the album. I was wondering when we were gonna get those electric guitar, the acoustic guitar. Again, apologies, I'm not a music person, so my terminology might be a little bit incorrect, but I was wondering when we were gonna get the guitars again, because that's one of my favorite instruments to listen to. I think that the dueling vocals from the guys singing to the girls singing in the chorus is really, really cool. Um, and the different melodies, again, apologies for the terminology, but I think you'll understand what I mean if you listen to it. The melodies in the song are so interesting. This song is a freaking bop. I love this song. It's so good. It's one of my favorites. Now, next song, You're So Beautiful. This song was my first big miss on the album. And keep in mind that it's not negative. Everybody likes different sounds and songs and lyrics, and some people might really love this song. Just personally, for me, it wasn't my favorite, weren't my favorite vocals ever, but the beat, it was okay. It it's not something that I would go out of my way to listen to, but if it was on the radio or somebody was playing it in their car, I wouldn't skip the song. So, fine, just not one of my personal favorites. Halfway There. This was again a new song. I think the only other song that I've heard before is the next one. Um, this one I when I listen to music, I'm not sure if this is for other people, but I can be a little bit impatient sometimes. I want it to get to the chorus or I want it to get to the drop. I want it to stop building, so I can be a little bit of an impatient listener. So for me, I had to be a little bit patient with this song. The lyrics are not my favorite, they're not, but the dance beat in the chorus of this song into in, into the very end of the song with the fade out, that was great. That was so again, you have to be good things come to those who wait, as some important person said one time. I wrote down that this could be a candidate for a remix, and then I would like it even more, I think. But this is a good song. It's on my playlist. Right here, this was the third song that Said the Sky dropped on his YouTube. Heard this one before, and I really like it. I think it has one of the best drops on the album and has beautiful piano chords. This is a great song. Before the World Falls Apart. This was a new song. All of the rest of the songs are going to be new to me. This one kind of reminded me of a Max Millennium collab. Kind of had the same sort of sound at the start. This one also kind of has the nostalgia 80s, 90s vibe with the beat of the song. I was a little bit disappointed with the drop. To be honest, I thought it would be more impactful. And this song was also a bit of a miss for me. Again, I don't know if I would necessarily call any of the songs skippable or really bad, but just for me, my personal preference was a bit of a miss. Together Again, this one, the chords and the chorus, I'm a big fan of. And listening to this more frequently and over time, I think this song is really gonna grow on me. Um, this one I like, it has been added to the playlist. And the final song on the album, Icarus. This was actually my least favorite song on the album. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe I was just a little bit tired listening to everything all at once, and maybe that was my mistake. But this one, I think I actually ended up just not listening to the entire song. So this was probably my least favorite on the album. But with that all being said, final thoughts for Closer to the Sun by Said the Sky. 8 out of the 12 songs I have already added to my playlist, so that's already a great sign. I think I had wrote down the album is a solid 7 out of 10, but I mean, it's probably between a 7 and a 7.5. It's a good listen. I like it. There's nothing that's incredibly not worth listening to, but there's nothing incredibly super fantastic, innovative, outstanding. That's you have to listen to this. So it's that again. That's not a bad thing. It's a solid listen. I enjoyed it. Between a 7 and a 7.5. Personally, and I think one of the biggest things that I noticed, and which is a really good point that I want to bring up again, is the timing of this album. Just for me personally, I don't want to get into the feels too much, but this was something that I just needed, that was really just based on the point of time that I am in my journey in my life right now. It was something that just kind of lined up, and it was great. Um, Most of the vocal choices and the performances on this album are very good. I've noticed that the vocalists that these producers select, I don't even know how they select them, but the vocals and the tunes, they just go together so well. It's some sort of art. It's awesome. The drops aren't really that heavy. They're pretty light to medium, and the person listening to the song, they can actually focus on just enjoying the melodies, the chords, and the progressions and the lyrics and the vocal performances, which I think it's good. You don't want to take away the shine from the rest of the song because then it just becomes one dimensional. Um, as I mentioned before, you could definitely tell there was a theme within the entire album. I can't tell you what that is. Maybe Trevor would tell you something different. My interpretation might be different. Somebody else listening might not even really personally care for it that much, but that's something that I noticed. Most of the songs are pretty short, but they're sweet. Short and sweet. Nothing wrong with that. Makes you want more, honestly. And kind of in closing, just to wrap things up, if you do like Said the Sky, I know it's been a little while since he's kind of dropped some new music. This is definitely one to check out. Um, I think you'll enjoy the album. So, thank you so much for watching. I apologize. It's almost 17 minutes now. I see a timer in the bottom. So, if you like this, please let me know, share your thoughts, let me know what your favorite song on the album is, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.